Thank you. Please, anyone with cell phones, please either turn them off or put them on vibrate, and any hats, please take off from your head for the entire meeting. Thank you. Clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Anderson. Bucci. Christensen. Condon. DePietro. Fallon. Kinnon. Murphy. Nestor. Spatafora. Lucy.
Here. First order of business.
Minutes of the meeting of June 21st.
On Councilor Christensen's motion to approve the minutes, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. Next order of business.
Application for renewal of a Class 2 dealer's license, CNC Collision, 251 Rear Broadway.
Councilor Anderson.
This is 250, this is,
251 Rear.
yeah, we did a temporary license for that.
No, that was 251. This is CNC Collision.
Then let's, to committee. Oh, this is that one, okay. Then we'd like to approve granting.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Anderson. On Councilor Anderson's motion to grant, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? License is granted. Next order of business.
The Standing Committee on License, term was referred papers number 136C, 193A, and 218A. Having considered the same, make the following report. Application for taxi driver's licenses. Committee recommends that these licenses be granted. Councilor Anderson for the committee.
Move that we receive the committee report.
On Councilor Anderson's motion to receive the committee report, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Councilor Anderson for the paper.
I'm going to move requesting granting of these licenses. These are licenses that we originally denied. The applicants wanted to appeal their denials. They came in and made compelling arguments as to why we should reconsider their licenses. We did background checks and references, and we were very pleased with the responses from the references, and so the committee voted unanimously to approve granting. So I would ask that the full City Council support granting those licenses.
Any questions for Councilor Anderson? Seeing no lights. On Councilor Anderson's motion to grant, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Licenses are granted. Next order of business.
The Standing Committee on Ordinance, term was referred paper number 242, series of 2011. Having considered the same, make the following report. Be hereby ordained that the revised ordinances of 1991 be further amended regarding public use of marijuana. Committee recommends that this paper be reported out favorably. Councilor Bucci for the committee.
On Councilor Bucci's motion to receive the committee report, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Councilor Bucci for the paper.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is amending, as Krolik has said, the marijuana ordinance. What the amendment is allowing us to do would be to recognize public use of marijuana like other legal products such as alcohol is prohibited on the public street. There is obviously a place for that product use. It's obviously allowable in a private setting, and the language that we're asking to amend would allow this to be classified as it would be under the same guise as our public consumption. So I'm looking for folks to vote favorably that it would be prohibited in the public arena.
Councilor Bucci, any questions for Councilor Bucci? Seeing no lights. On Councilor Bucci's motion to roll, clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Anderson. Bucci.
Yes.
Christensen.
Yes.
Condon. DePietro. Fallon. Kinnon. Murphy. Spatafora. Lucy.
Yes. On Councilor Bucci's motion to suspend rules, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. On Councilor Bucci's motion to ordain, clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Anderson.
Yes.
Bucci.
Yes.
Christensen.
Yes.
Condon.
Yes.
DePietro. Fallon. Kinnon. Murphy. Spatafora. Lucy.
Yes. Motion passes. Next to ordain. Next order of business.
The Standing Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred paper number 261, series of 2011, having considered the same, make the following report. Be hereby ordained that the revised ordinances of 1991 be further amended regarding signs. Committee recommends that this paper be reported out favorably with the following amendment, that the amendments to section 3.35.5 prohibited signs be deleted. 3 yea to 0 nay. Councilor Bucci for the committee.
On Councilor Bucci's motion, suspend rules. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Councilor Bucci for the paper.
Thank you. This is another amendment to a current ordinance that's in place related to the fine work of Councilor Spatafor and others in trying to organize a much more cohesive and professional appearance and setting up some standards around the signs that we do have posted around the city. What this amendment is also doing is looking at an ordinance that is a work in progress. It certainly has the ability to be crafted to make improvements where they may be necessary. So tonight we're asking from the committee that we look at defining what a temporary sign should have as we see what a temporary sign should be made of in terms of the type of product. So for instance, a temporary sign should not be a piece of plywood with the business name spray painted on it. And based on something similar of that nature happening is what really has prompted this for us to look at that, which is really the process and the procedures that we should be doing. So one part of this amendment request is to address the temporary sign by saying that it's a professionally produced vinyl banner containing the name of the business conducted or to be conducted at the premise and may contain the words "coming soon" or "now open." But it does that's the material that temporary sign should have. So that's one part of it. The second section that we're amending is the area that would not require a permit and would allow a new section, and the new section is in two parts. One part is any informational or promotional banner displayed by the city or a Malden-based nonprofit or municipality-owned or controlled property, provided that the design, location, and duration of that display has been approved by the Sign Design Review Committee. And part two would be that any banner displayed from a utility pole with the approval of the owner. So as we see the development of different areas that are going to be promoting specific areas of the city or a service organization or, for instance, a square development, they would be fixed to city-owned poles, and with the approval of a utility pole company, we would be able to put those banners up. So we're looking for those amendments to be favorably supported tonight.
Thank you, Councilor Bucci. Any questions for Councilor Bucci? Yeah. Councilor Christensen.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I want to apologize to the Madam Chairperson for not attending tonight. We had the Economic Development Committee at the same time. First question I wanted to ask you, did the Chamber or anybody weigh in on this? Are they aware of the changes or any testimony from them about the proposal? Did they?
I'm going to refer to Craig.
Want to speak in the mic?
I'm going to refer to Craig, as he's actually a member of the Sign Design Review Committee, and he may have, in fact, I know they discussed this to bring it over to ordinance. Craig, do you want to weigh in?
Correct. There was no testimony, Councilor. This is something that's actually been in the works. What we're actually doing is we're not decreasing the amount of size, we're actually increasing the amount of size. So I would guess that from a business standpoint, it'll definitely be a welcome interest. What we've done is we've made it so that the city doesn't have to require a permitting process when they put the banners up, and what that is going to be specifically, the banners when you go to Everett Square or other towns and communities, they have these banners up in their squares that advertise local businesses. The city is going to be responsible for designing them, installing them, and then through a process of, if a business wants to be on that, they can apply. There'll be a fee, and the city will install them themselves. Then there's also the process if a business wants to put one of those banners within front of their building, as long as they have permission by the utility company or by the city, whoever owns that particular pole, they'll go before them, and they're affixed the right way, and they're made out of the correct material. So we're bringing more attention to the city and giving the businesses just another area or avenue to show some media for their business. So I think it will be a welcome interest. We've been asked for this before. It's been a long process, but now these banners on the pole, I want to use the right word here, will now be allowed under our ordinance, so.
Mr. President, just one more question through you to Council Spatafora. Has it been helpful, I know you were a big proponent of the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce being a part of that committee. I know many times, as our Council President says, we do a lot of things up here, and then sometimes, we forget to ask, is it working? Has that been helpful for the Executive Director of the Chamber to be?
He hasn't been there yet.
Okay,
And we've only had one meeting since, so, and that meeting was actually this morning.
okay.
So I assume the next meeting will probably be either in August or September, depending on our amount of work. You have 45 days once you submit that application to have a meeting, so I assume probably September he'll be there.
Okay.
But I think the input will be greatly appreciated.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Council Spatafora, Council Kinnon. Council Murphy, sorry. Share a mic.
Share a mic. Yes, we do share a mic. Thank you, Mr. President. Councilor Bucci, just a couple of questions. Is there a limitation on the time a temporary sign can be up?
It's a temporary sign until they have to submit a request for their sign. It's up until they have approval for their permanent sign.
Okay, so so a temporary sign could be up for, I guess I'm just curious, should we have a limitation on how long a temporary sign could be up, or?
Well, I think the temporary sign is up until the sign review design committee has approved
Okay.
it.
But could someone put I'm sorry, I don't mean to belabor this, but could someone put a temporary sign up and not put in an application
No.
for a permanent sign? Okay,
No.
so they can't put
No.
the temporary sign up unless they have the application?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that clarifies that. And just my second question, when you spoke about the nonprofit banners, so could you just clarify, can nonprofits put banners up just like the city?
Malden nonprofit,
And where can they put them?
on a municipality-owned pole, unless they get permission from the pole that's owned by another private company.
And do they have to get permission from the city to put them on a municipal pole?
Correct.
Okay, all right, that was the part I was just a little confused about. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Murphy. Anyone else? Seeing no lights on Council Bucci's motion to amend with accordance to the committee report. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On Council Bucci's motion to suspend docket rules. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? On Council Bucci's motion to ordain. Clerk will call the roll. Ordain on there.
Councilor Anderson. Bucci.
Yes.
Christensen.
Yes.
Condon. DePietro. Fallon. Kinnon. Murphy. Spatafora.
Yes.
Lucy.
Yes. On Council Bucci's motion to suspend to have docket rules. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Rules are suspended. On Council Bucci's motion to ordain. Clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Anderson. Bucci.
Yes.
Christensen.
Yes.
Condon. DePietro. Fallon. Kinnon. Murphy. Spatafora. Lucy.
Yes. Motion's ordained. Next order of business.
The Standing Committee on Finance, to whom was referred paper number 235, series of 2011, having considered the same, make the following report. The annual appropriation order for fiscal year 2012, committee recommends that this paper be reported out favorably with the following amendments. Decrease public schools by $321,038, increase revenue reserve by $321,038, increase highway labor by $250,000, decrease unemployment by $100,000 and revenue reserve by $150,000, increase IT salaries by $25,000, decrease IT professional services by $4,914 and revenue reserve by $20,086, Increase Board of Health, $10,000 for rodent control, $19,000 for mosquito control, and decrease revenue reserve by $29,000. 5 yes to 0 no. Councilor Condon for the committee.
On Council Condon's motion to receive the committee report, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Council Condon.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last night, we took up several proposals. The one on the school department, it moved $321,000. Let me see the exact figure. Yeah, $321,038 from the school department budget into revenue reserve. As we did last year, knowing if and when it is needed, because I think we've come to the realization that maybe utilities may be a problem in that school budget, that the funds would be made available for them. And also, as far as the Highway Labor Department, they signed off on the health care program, and that's the reason for the $250,000 being in there, and they committed, union contracts committed with that movement. The IT, that's for a part-time tech. There's a lot of IT commitments in the city, and his department is, he needs this position for sure. It's just a part-time tech. The health department, we added $29,000, and he requested influenza increase, but we got a commitment from the mayor that with this $29,000, it's certainly enough money to be able to fund the $4,500 that he was requesting. Also, we got a commitment from the mayor on the fire department request for the $15,000 for their equipment request, that the mayor committed to us that he would find that through capital money, so we felt comfortable with that. So we voted on these amendments last night, and we made one motion tonight, and we feel comfortable with the budget. So I'll open it up to questions from the council, if they have any. If not, I would move to amend in accordance to the committee report.
Council Condon, any questions for Council Condon? Seeing no lights, on Council Condon's motion to amend according to the committee report, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. On Council Condon's motion to adopt as amended, clerk will call the roll.
Councilor Anderson.
Yes.
Bucci. Yes. Christensen.
Yes.
Condon.
Yes.
DePietro.
Yes.
Fallon.
No.
Kinnon.
Yes.
Murphy. Spatafora. Lucy.
Yes. Paper carries 9-1. Next order of business.
The Standing Committee on Finance, to whom was referred papers number 463 through 466, having considered the same, make the following report. Ordered that the mayor be authorized to file applications and execute agreements for grants or loan assistance for planning and construction of water distribution projects, that the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, be authorized to borrow $300,000 for water distribution planning, that the mayor be authorized to file applications and execute agreements for grants or loan assistance for replacement of water mains, and that the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, be authorized to borrow $6,750,000 for replacement of water mains. Committee recommends that these papers be reported out favorably, 5 yeas to 0 nay. Councilor Condon for the committee.
On Council Connor's motion to receive the committee report, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Council Condon for the paper.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have representatives here if there's any technical questions, but just to refresh the council's memory, last year we went out for $6.6 million. As you know, there's probably 30 miles of pipe, water mains that are that were put in 1880, 1890. Some of those were originally 6-inch water mains that are now about 2-inch water mains. So this program under the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund, what it does is it allows us to address our infrastructure problems. It's a win-win in a couple ways. There's no better time to get this type work done. We probably got 20% more work with the bids being as competitive as they were. Plus the fact that although we went out to borrow $6.6 million, 35% of that $6.6 million, which is in slightly over $1.9 million, is debt forgiven. So, as I said, it's a win-win. This allows them to go forward, meet our obligations. There's timelines here in October, and everything has to be finalized of April of next year. Doesn't affect this FY 2012 budget. Doesn't affect us at all with moving forward in this program. The program itself, it's undisputable. We saw what the pipes looked like back there. Tremendous program. I think we have another opportunity to move forward, and hopefully the federal government, this is being done under the Clean Water Act, will forgive us a good portion of this debt. So this was unanimously voted on also by the Finance Committee. So I'll open up to any questions that any councilors might have.
Any questions for Councilor Condon? Do such a great job explaining. No one has any. Oh, we do have a question. Councilor Spatafora.
I just have one comment, and I caught the tail end of the presentation. I think, when you throw a number like $6.6 million out there, it's a large number, and, the water pipe is something I think nobody wants to really spend any money to upgrade all it, because it's, you don't see them, it's out of sight, out of mind. But I think those certain instances where I've gotten phone calls as a councilor, and I'm sure every ward councilor, especially some of the topography in the city, the water pressure is bad, the pipes are old, and then when they break, we know we have neighborhoods there who had, severe flooding issues, and, it's not as bad as it was, I think 2 summers ago now when the MWRA's big pipe broke and we were out of water. It showed us the value of turning on that faucet and having the water come out, and I think what we're doing here is, what we always talk about in our meetings with our buildings is repair and maintenance of the facilities as we go before we have that big damage. So even though it's a large amount of money, I think, like Councilor Condon said, the debt rate right now is fantastic. We're going to have a portion that's going to be forgivable, and also the contractors right now want to get the work, so they're bidding very competitive. I think it's a win-win right across the board, and plus you get clean water. So how can you lose in this situation? So I think it's one of these things that we don't talk about a lot, but I don't see other communities doing as much as we have. And it's good to be finally seeing some new pipes go on the ground, so very much in favor. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilor Spatafora. Councilor Anderson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I'm not a member of the Finance Committee, but I had the pleasure of being there at the meeting to hear the presentation, and certainly, as was mentioned earlier, a win-win for everyone. I think we can all don't have to look back very far to see this current project that's been going on that has been involved in replacing the water lines throughout the wards, and in all 8 wards throughout the city, we can see that there have been